Forget candy, forget TikTok ghosts. This Halloween, we're gonna be trading everything for nothing but screams. We have hunted down the top 20 games that'll make your phone feel like a haunted house. No Wi-Fi, no ads, just pure terror. Play them if you dare, don't blame us when you scare.
What nonsense.
So first of all, Mother Bird, final story here, feels like someone actually trapped Momo inside a nightmare version of your 7-year-old home, and then forgot to hit pause. It's a strangely nostalgic kind of horror with a simple setup. Lots of silence and that classic low-budget creepiness that actually somehow makes it scarier. You're stuck solving puzzles where that uncanny Momo face stalks you. I'm whispering like she's auditioning for a TikTok. The jump scares hit harder than you expect and the atmosphere is just straight up pain. It's cheap horror done right, raw, tense, and way more fun than it has any right to be. Played late at night, and good luck sleeping after. With that being said, especially for those of you who haven't played it, because it's a very, possibly the most underrated horror game of all time on mobile. The Whispering Valley takes you back precisely 130 years ago in history, where this deserted village hides a pretty dark secret. It's a folk horror point-and-click game packed with mystery, guilt, and eerie atmosphere. You explore every corner and full 360 degrees, solving realistic puzzles that fit naturally into the world. Each clue that you come across, conversation and letter, pulls you deeper into the game's story, while your lantern then becomes your best ally against the darkness, of course. Clever design, haunting setting. This game perfectly blends old school adventure with modern psychological horror. It's a 10 out of 10.
Living in the dark puddles.
Coming up behind that at number 3, it is Bendy and the Ink Machine. Honestly, it still gives me chills no matter how many times we play it. There's just something about that old creepy cartoon studio that feels live. Like every corner is hiding a bad memory. You walk in thinking it's gonna be all cute 1930s animation vibe, then all of a sudden, boom. Monsters, weird noises, and demons who just hate you. The puzzles, of course, are going to be messing with your head. The stealth movements keep your heart racing at every time, and the art style is just beautifully cursed. It's vintage horror done perfectly wrong. I don't know which one of you needs to hear this, but Smiling X kicked off its series with a mix of stealth and survival a long time ago, and it ended up as one of the finest ever made horror games on mobile to this very day. You wake up trapped inside a dark office run by this twisted boss who's brainwashed your coworkers to some evil software. There's tension to manage puzzles and you gotta destroy servers to free these folks' minds. The atmosphere is just nearly perfect in originality and enemies are super smart. It's classic horror game done right, turning an ordinary workplace into a nightmare factory. We've actually mentioned this game a couple of days ago. For those of you who missed it, Dead Reset is a interactive FMV horror game, and it's finally someone figuring out how to make this genre work. The game is just in its nature brutal, it's bloody, and surprisingly well acted as well. The whole time loop setup in this game keeps things tense. You die, you learn, and die back, and like some deranged surgeon speedrunning his own nightmare. Decisions actually matter in the game, changing how people treat you and what kind of ending you get to see. It's gory, unapologetic, and way more polished than most interactive horror stuff we've seen this or any other year. Feels like a proper movie that you can mess with, not a cheap gimmick. It's short, though intense, and exactly what FMV games should have been years ago. Coming up behind that at number 6, it is Nightmares Within. It's a first-person horror survival set on a fog-covered island that has a creepy hospital at its center. You're playing as a sergeant, it's called Noah, stuck with a gun, some questions, and just way many things that you're gonna be bumping at the left and right. It's got puzzle solving, of course, stealth mechanics, and a talent system that lets you grow stronger as you fight off waves of infecteds, realistic weapons, a massive open map, and plenty of action to crack. It blends shooter action with survival horror, meaning it's got quality for newcomers and veterans alike. It's free, about 700 megabytes in size. On second hands, however, Spooky Express is actually a pretty cute little Halloween puzzle game that's just way smarter than it looks. You're basically running a train, hauling zombies, ghosts, and humans to the right stops without turning it into a traffic jam, which sounds easy until you realize just one wrong move and your passengers start panicking or, start biting each other, turning this whole thing into a nightmare. It's actually from the same minds behind Cosmic Express, just spookier and sharper. The art's amazing, the puzzles are tight, and the soundtrack's got that eerie, cozy vibe charm nailed. It's short, clever, and pretty good for when you want something Halloweeny without jump scares or just cheap tricks. Made of Sker on a need-to-know basis, because this is the most realistic horror mobile games out there right now, is basically a haunting tale which is ported from PC to mobile, now available on Android and iOS for free. It's a critically acclaimed survival horror that invites you into a sinister hotel where stealth is going to be your best friend, and the story is going to be leading you to somewhere really strange. You're going to be solving puzzles and avoid enemies, and the tension just gets higher. The game's moody atmosphere combined with its immersive storyline and the stunning visuals delivers a unforgettable, almost horror experience. Give it a go if you want. It's an online game, but you can make it offline with an in-app purchase. It's about 4 GB in size. Now we're gonna be pushing the list off the rails even further with Forgotten Memories Remastered, because it was originally released in 2015 as a mobile title, finally made its way to PC with a remaster. It was so good, and then also back at the Play Store. And if you're a sucker for games like Silent Hill, this one's just a mind-blowing title right up there in quality. The graphics, the smoothness, the atmosphere, all paired with the art design and the voice acting, gives it nostalgia and just charm all around. There's one problem: this is a paid game, but $7. It plays with a controller though, and is about 4 GB in size. Give it a go if you're looking for a bit of portable horror. With quality, this game does its job really well. We're diving even deeper with number 10, giving it to Subnautica. The full game, one of those survival sandboxes that just lulls you in with its calmness of the ocean vibe, before reminding you that the deep sea does not play nice. You're gonna be crafting submarines, building underwater bases, and scavenge for materials while trying not to become dinner for something even more smart. It's fully controller support, runs surprisingly smooth without a controller, and looks just amazing if your phone can handle it. It really worth every penny. $9 for pure underwater survival bliss for a long time. Now we're gonna take it down a notch with Cursed School. This game throws you straight into a haunted school where your daughter Jane is trapped and things get dark really fast. Now you're running through classrooms, basements, and rooftops while fighting and solving puzzles that uncover the story itself. This game features like 4 different endings, weapon upgrades, different creatures straight out of a nightmare, and it's actually got some really good console quality graphics. Classic horror vibes inspired by Silent Hill and Death Park. It's got a great story-driven experience. It's both tense and addictive. It's free. Give it a shot.
I need to make this right.
Poppy Playtime Chapter 4, although we do recommend Chapter 3 because that game was ported even better. Although this one's newer, so why not? This game is right now serving up straight up nightmare fuel with a side of brain bust and puzzles. You're diving deep into Playtime Company's messed up underbelly where creepy vibes just crank up to 11 over that. New monsters? Yeah, it's got some of those. They don't just jump out, they mess with your head in ways you don't see coming. This chapter ain't just horror for shock value, it's smart, twisted, and dripping with atmosphere. If you thought the previous chapters were wild, well, wait until you see what's lurking in the shadows this time.
You went missing. You're still looking, aren't you?
Going down to number 13, although this might get a little boring, since we've actually talked about this game many times, but Alien Isolation 13 on mobile is, technically speaking, the biggest horror game ever ported to Android since it's about 11 GB in size. Technically, it's just someone decided it is a pretty good idea if we took, peak horror ever made it playable on the go with a touchscreen, while, your phone's exploding. It works though is what matters. You play as Amanda, trying to find your mom this time, and instead you're gonna be finding nothing like that, instead just aliens. The aliens got better hearing this time, and you just need to be patient, otherwise don't even sweat it. The game is gorgeous, it's terrifying, and completely unfair. Lifelike of course, but with better lighting. It's a $15 paid game, and you're also going to be suffering just as much as you paid for it. Dad's Monster House 2 feels like someone dumped your childhood fears in a puzzle box and they said, just let's see what happens. Good luck. There's always something freaky in the game, like a eye watching from windows, walls knocking back, and puzzles that make you question your own intelligence and, decisions. It's not just creepy kind of a game, it's cleverly creepy. You're doing pretty much anything, fixing pipes, feeding monsters, and probably wondering therapy was cheaper. It's an offline game, 666 megabytes in size. With that being said, of course, Dredge is that mobile game that makes you wonder why your console ever existed, because this might just be the only game you need. Here's the thing. By day, you're minding your fishing business, because that's what this game is about. Cruising islands, upgrading boat like a nice, responsible adult, working for his family. But when night comes, suddenly, your final hobby turns just Lovecraftian, and you're gonna be questioning your whole life choices, whilst everything in the sea is fingering you. The good thing about this game is that it's got touch controls that are buttery smooth, so if you've got no controller, you're gonna have fun anyway. The camera is pretty good, and it actually runs on even the modest phones like a dream. It's a very relaxing game, pretty microscopic. It is relaxing at times, not relaxing at all, and it's just polished enough to make every port of Among Us jealous? I don't know. Going down to number 16, it is Mr. Scientist, which, it's the kind of game that throws you into one of those, oh great, another psycho situations type of games. You crash your car, wake up in this house, and surprise, he wants to experiment on you. In fact, he has been. It's basically Granny meets Resident Evil 7 minus the budget. The whole thing's about sneaking around, cracking locks, and trying not to get snatched again. It's clunky in that, charming mobile horror way, but it actually pulls off some tension. It's got a great design and decent chase system, and, it's just fun while it lasts. Give it a shot. Up next at number 17, it is Sandal Bolong Revenge. It's basically Granny if she got possessed by Indonesian folklore. You're stuck in a haunted building while Sandal Bolong, the ghost with a hole in her back, haunts you down like you owe her rent. It's got that, eerie Southeast Asian horror vibe, dim hallways, creepy whispers, jump scares that just come late enough to make you flinch. The gameplay is your usual run, hide, puzzle routine, but the cultural twist here keeps it fresh. Bonus points if you played with headphones. Seriously, give it a shot. Number 18, it is Not My Neighbor, or, That's Not My Neighbor. It's such a weird little ride, if you know what I mean. You're basically a doorman in the 50s, but with doppelgangers everywhere. Your job is to check who's legit and who's fake, using documents and information you gather. It starts pretty simple, but the more people show up, it gets crazier. Some are almost humans, others are just straight up weird clones for some reason. And the different modes in the game really keeps things fresh once, because it does at some point get a little boring. It's kinda tense, it's eerie, really nails that just one more check vibe. It's a free game, about 150 megabytes in size in total. Give it a go.
Glad to see you're okay. At least I know what happened to Milena.
Obviously at number 19 it is Garden of Banban 8, Anti-Devil. It's just pure action horror and a kindergarten, just gone completely wrong. It's like toys from your childhood came alive with some messed up science experiment or witchery behind them. You're gonna be crawling through, underground laboratories, dodging twisted enemies and familiar monsters into sanity. It's got puzzles, lots of them, lots of chases, lots of levers, codes that keep you thinking. But the real thrill is, of course, the chase moments. Like one slip, game's over. It's pretty tense, twisted, and honestly one of the darkest Banban games yet. Survival kinda never felt this frantic.
It's sure to have a happy ending.
Well, here's the thing, guys. Now, Inmost is finally hitting Android and iOS on October 28th. Like, pretty much Halloween. And it's definitely worth the hype. It's like a mix of Limbo and Hollow Knight, but way more story-driven. You're gonna be following 3 different characters: a knight, a little kid, and a little wanderer. Each one with their own differences and abilities, which keeps it fresh. Puzzles actually make you think, and the combat feels tight even with its minimal controls, although you can play this game with a controller as well. The pixel art is one of a kind, full of hidden spots and little scares that actually get your heart racing in such small size. Really short game, but 5 hours long, but perfect for a single session binge. And last but not least, it is of course Dr. Slender Remastered. It's one of those mold horror OG nightmares straight out of the asylum and into 2025 with a full visual overhaul. And of course, extra psychological torment. And this game's got 2 modes, the iconic classic for the brave and nightmare for the clinically ill, such as myself. The remake also packs better lighting, creepier sound design, and a smoother control, so every flicker of a bulb feels personal here. You're gonna be solving puzzles all day and sneaking around while the bad Dr. Slender hunts you down. It's free on Android, 200 megabytes of pure panic. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again tomorrow.